Sajra was looking for wild vegetables with her daughter today. As a result, there was a flash flood on the way, cut off the way in an instant, also put mother and daughter in danger. Early this morning, the sky looks sunny in the mountains. After a brief rain last night, the air is moist. Seeing that the weather shows no signs of continued rain for the time being, intends to take advantage of this time, go to the mountains to pick some wild vegetables and come back. After all, spring is all kinds of wild in the mountains. Most tender. Also some high-value medicinal materials. The season that begins to enter the harvest. For him, such an opportunity should not be easily missed. It's spring break for Nowruz, the Persian New Year. The children are all obediently staying at home. With the warm sun of the spring equinox, Sagla can now have no worries. Take Zainab into the mountains, looking for spring game in the new year. The road into the mountain is not easy to walk. Mountains are steep. Feet are also a little slippery. Be extra careful with every step forward. But Sagla knows those wild vegetables and medicinal herbs that taste fresh and tender. Picky about the environment in which they grow, often only rooted in these ordinary people. Among the inaccessible peaks and valleys, they have to bite the bullet. Across these dangerous cliffs, herb pickers in the mountains, often at great risk to life, to climb those cliffs with few footholds. Cliff. But here we must remind everyone. Ordinary people, please never imitate out of curiosity. Try to climb unexplored wild areas or dangerous excavation. After all, nomads walk the cliff to survive. Ordinary people walk the cliff. It is life-threatening. Mother and daughter are now deep in the canyon. Last night's rain gathered here makes the whole valley look extremely slippery. It is this perennial darkness, extremely humid canyon environment for all kinds of cherished wild vegetables and high-value medicinal materials, the perfect breeding ground for growth. However, when the mother and daughter were immersed in joy, they seemed to have overlooked a fatal detail. This had a small, narrow line in the middle. In the event of heavy rainfall upstream, in an instant it will become no way out of the spillway. At this time, the originally clear sky above, don't know when, a thick cloud has quietly risen. After finally finding the way, here Sajra found the wild vegetables he was looking for. Looks like a large-leaved wild vegetable from the Malvaceae family. This wild vegetable is in this valley, grow very strong, spread out in patches among moist, shady meadows. Generally speaking, the young leaves of this plant can be used to make soup when frying, plus it contains a certain amount of dietary fiber. So in spring, often become a very important category for mountain people. Pomegranate wild vegetables. In folk experience, such plants, it is also often regarded as having a certain dual-use value of medicine and food. The most real meaning is that it can be taken back, fresh vegetables for the family. Add a rare mountain flavor to your home. Sagra and Zainab continued to find more wild vegetables in the canyon, watching the thick clouds build up rapidly. But the mother and daughter who are bent on finding wild vegetables still don't realize danger is approaching. Zakros Mountains in spring looks very alive. The green grass burrows out of the ground. There are also scattered flowers blooming in the mountains. This wild almond has borne green fruit. It tastes extremely crisp now. Very sour taste. About 4 to 5 months. That is, in late summer and early autumn is picking time. The mother and daughter duo are now walking along the slippery hillside. Slowly came to the top of the canyon. Standing on high ground can better find. Soon, they followed the terrain and re-entered the canyon. Just then, the most worrying thing happened. The sky is drizzling. Mother and daughter must get out of here as soon as possible. Suddenly, a foreign object appeared on the ground ahead. It made the two of them tense in an instant. Take a closer look. Is the carcass of a wild animal. Sagra took the courage to raise this cold body. This is the fearsome Asian fox. With blood on his head. Sagla thinks it's an unnatural death. He judged it to be a fall from a height. Even the lone wolf's vitality is extremely tenacious. Eaters die here without warning. The terrain of the Zakros Mountains is intricate and extremely sinister. Steep fault, very loose rock, and unpredictable flash floods led these deep canyons, often a natural cemetery for wild animals. At this time, Sagra and Zainab, also in danger. Drizzle is falling. The mountain road under my feet is getting more and more slippery. If you continue to stay, more trouble is possible at any time. After realizing this, mother and daughter dare not delay any longer. Just get out of here as soon as possible. Try before the situation gets completely worse. Get out of this danger zone. After leaving Death Canyon, mother and daughter see mountains in the distance. There is a white waterfall. That's torrential rain at higher altitudes. Along the gap in the mountain, a torrent pouring down madly. When the mother and daughter returned the same way, soon found out the river that originally passed through has clearly swelled. The torrential rain upstream is mixed with sediment and rolling down. Fortunately, the flood is not particularly severe. Mother and daughter holding hands while testing, walk slowly to the other side against the current. Wade through the first torrent. Not completely safe. It's a long way back. There are still many torrents ahead for them. In the mountains, once the heavy rainfall forms a scale, every ditch in the mountains will look like this. Instantly skyrocketed into a flood that devoured everything. This is no longer a simple way to pick and go home, but a physical limit. A cruel consumption station pressing step by step with the god of death. More dangerous, escaped a torrent. They found themselves trapped in a bigger encirclement. This torrential rain has completely awakened the whole mountain. Look around. Countless waterfalls mixed with sediment, breaking through the wall. Zarus Mountains, this typical coconut-shaped landform. Now it has become an extremely fatal loophole. Water pouring down from all directions. converging towards the lowest day terrain. In front of this overwhelming natural martial arts field, the bottom of the canyon has melted into absolute death intent to survive. No two only creatures, just before the flood. Desperate sense of direction towards home. As the rain continues, the flood of the blocking river in front of you, the water becomes more violent. If you stand unsteady, you may be taken away under the cement. To cross this torrent, Bright Moon Teeth can only be careful. Go to the rocks in the middle of the river and settle down. But just as Zainab was about to jump over, I stepped into the freezing cold oil, almost washed away by the flood. In the nick of time, Sagla grabbed him. This barely stabilizes people. Experience this scene. Zainab was terrified. After crossing the most dangerous river just now, the mother and daughter finally took a breath of relief. The gate of hell is coming. Although I'm soaking wet now, exhausted. But as long as you don't have to go to the lake again, the rest of the way is lucky even if you climb. After the extreme waiting of a life and death, and a long trek in the rain, Sagra with daughter finally stepped into the house without danger. At this time, the children in the house are gathering around the fire to keep warm, waiting for the return of the family. After the neighbors entered the house, also rushed to the fire to warm up. As the rain continues, and it seems that there is a possibility that it will continue to increase, Zara and sister Husai Ying picked up the tools one or two, start digging pan water ditches around the house. After all, simple housing like this, once the rainwater accumulates near the wall tank for a long time, will pour into the house. Siblings, hurry up. Before further furniture in the rain room, first unclog the drainage. A few hours later, the weather in the mountains suddenly cleared up again. The heavy clouds are gradually dispersing. Long lost sun. From time to time my head sticks out from the cracks in the clouds. This is the weather in the mountains. A second ago was a life and death test of a violent storm. I'll give you a gentle clear sky in a second. While the ground is a little dry, to prevent the next rain, the door becomes muddy. Sagra carries rocks with the kids, ready to lay on the doorstep. This is easy to get in and out without slipping.